Here's how this cake ended up looking like this, and I only had 1 hour to fix it. I think I finally healed enough from the trauma of this experience to tell the story. First of all, jump scare. Now, this cake was a very special customer. She actually ordered our very first 2-tier cake almost 5 years ago, and every cake she's ordered since has eaten down. So I knew I had to get this right. Now, the vision I had in my head for this cake was a gold cake drum, but I could not find a 12-inch gold cake drum. I only could find a cake board. Now, I knew there was no way a board was going to support the weight of this cake. So I had the genius idea to glue a 10-inch cake drum under the 12-inch cake board so I could get that support. And that would be my downfall. Now, prior to this disaster, the cake went so smooth. I was feeling good. Everything was coming easy. This one was actually almost too easy. So I was starting to feel a little bit like them saxophones were playing. This right here is where the disaster started. So when I measured my dowel to go into the center of my cake, I estimated it, but I always underestimate because most of the dowel is going to be in the cake anyway. So I went to put the dowel in and I realized that the dowel was too long. Like my estimations were way off. I later realized it was off because the dowel didn't go through both cake boards. It only went through the gold one, not the cake drum at the bottom. So I finished the cake. I'm going to transport the cake, and the car in front of me slams on brakes. And it's because the car in front of them slammed on brakes because they missed their turn. Was I too close? Yes, I do take responsibility for that. But honey, lesson learned, because this cake went flying. And I realized that the entire cake had slid off of the cake board. Now I had to figure out how to get this cake back onto the board and secured without having to redo the entire thing. So I take the cake back home and I'm in panic mode. With a lot of prayer and my sister's help, I was able to get the cake back on the board. We had to take off all of the decorations. I had to make more buttercream, frost the entire bottom tier, be super gentle with the top because the top was textured, so I couldn't redo it. All of the fondant elements had to be redone, so my sister did those for me while I was working on the cake. And then I threw this bad boy in the freezer and prayed. I stepped outside for a second and I saw the most beautiful rainbow. And I was like, Kiara, you got this. God's got you. So I went to deliver this 30 minutes away. And just a reminder, this is what it looked like before it left my house. And this is how it looked after I fixed it. When I posted the disaster in my story, the customer said she would have never have known because the cake looked perfect. But it's definitely not an experience I am ever looking forward to repeating.